So we went on a bit of an adventure to China. And there in China, at the Begode factory, we got an exclusive chance to try and ride the brand new Begode ET Max. The wheel we got to try was definitely still a test platform. It didn't look very fresh and new. There's sort of nicks and scratches all over the place. But the main structure and the sort of meat of the thing was still there. And you could really see that they were testing it hard. I mean, the wheel looked like it had gone through a war zone. And there were definitely still some bugs to be ironed out. I mean, there was some sort of a firmware glitch, which meant that at one point the wheel just stopped riding. So still a bit of work to do. So what makes this wheel special? Well, as with many Begode wheels you might expect, it is indeed extremely powerful. How powerful, you ask? Well, the controller now has 48 MOSFETs, which is a very large number. And those MOSFETs together might theoretically have a maximum throughput of 1200 amps, which is just insane. It's like electric car level territory. They've also gone on to a new 168 volt system, and together with the technological magic called field weakening, this means that the motor's free spin speed is now over 180 kilometers. And the list of interesting specs just keeps going on. For example, the wheel now has a completely custom, built in-house from the beginning to the end, shock absorber with bi-directional dampening. They're also aiming for IP66 water resistance. We got to try the wheel for about an hour, which isn't a very long time, but we got to ride it in many different scenarios. For example, we got to do some park riding on pavement, then we got to go to the hills, do some obstacles. And from the testing, you can really tell that the wheel belongs in the category of sort of big wheels. And it really has some heft to it. I mean, 48 kilograms to be exact. On the pavement, it felt a bit understeery. It was a bit skittish when it wander around, but that could have just been due to the fact that we had very high tire pressures, 2.8 bar. In the hills and trails, it didn't feel quite as confident as the Begode Extremes that the rest of us were riding, but still quite okay. I mean, the wheel is rather high and the pedals are high, which makes it for a very comfy wheel to just sit and ride and cruise on. So circa like a fast city wheel. The suspension, however, during our ride at least, wasn't quite as responsive as we'd have hoped for. Probably we could have done some adjustments. I mean, there's just infinite amounts of adjustments on the suspension and probably dialed it in much better. Well, acceleration was very good, but you really need to put in a lot of effort to get the wheel going. With these first 10 kilometers, we didn't really feel secure enough to do a max acceleration test with it. But we did get to do some emergency braking, and the wheel is excellent at that. I mean, felt really secure. I mean, you could even say that it's top of the class in emergency braking. Price range wise, the wheel should cost around 4,000 euros. And you should hopefully be able to see them in Voltride stores somewhere in the summer. But this is far from all the cool stuff we saw in China. So stay tuned during the next weeks to discover many more interesting videos.